Hello, Dan Joss. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Money Talks today. We talk about money, and it's January, and we talk about interest rates on loans and stuff. But let's talk about borrowing money or loaning money to family members. I've got some insight on that you'd be able to share with us.
Yeah, we have some great experience having family members loan money to other family members or clients loaning money. But it's a great question is, first of all, why would anyone want to lend someone else some money?
I'm not sure that it's want to lend someone else some money.
That's right. Well, one is to make a profit. I'll loan you some money, but you owe me some more back. Two is because a need has come about, and so they want to help somebody else. Or three, it's because somebody asked me. That's usually how it works, right? Hey, can I have some money?
Right.
and that could be a $5 that I'll pay you back next week, or that could be something significant. And so we have some basic guidelines about if you decide to, or should we, and if we do decide to, what are the principles? Every society has lent and borrowed, for thousands of years. You can go back, we can look at the Old Testament in the Bible, thousands of years ago, and see Moses, Solomon, even Paul in the New Testament all talked about lending and borrowing.
Okay.
In Jesus' many parables, debt and debt forgiveness were used in his teaching stories. And so lending is common. Lending to family is also common. A question is, do you want to charge your family member interest? Kind of depends on how much the loan is. If it's used to a down payment on a house, or is it used to buy a car? So should I charge interest? Well, the IRS will assume you do charge interest, and there's a rate for that. So talk to your tax preparer about that. But if you don't charge interest, that's not a bad thing either. In fact, in the Old Testament, we know that Israelites weren't supposed to charge fellow Israelites interest. And so they didn't, but they were allowed to charge foreigners interest. So most likely they did. So should I charge interest or not is one. Should I just give instead of lend? That's a point of consideration.
And sometimes you might wind up giving when you intended to lend.
Sure, yeah. Loans not paid, which leads to the third point is collecting and the difficulties or preventing difficulties. If you intend to collect back on that family loan, what is the process? What are your expectations, and are those expectations agreed to? I know one family, one client that is now collecting back a 2.5-year loan on a monthly basis. And so to write these terms down, whether there's interest or not, how much interest that is, and when the payments will be made back to the lender, and what happens if payments aren't made should all be talked about. And ideally, the larger the loan, the more formal it should be and written down and agreed to. And then there's boundaries, and each person can come up with their own boundaries. We don't lend above a certain amount, or we won't go to court to collect if we're not paid. Those kind of things should be thought about ahead of time, so that when the opportunity comes to lend to somebody, you know what you will and what you won't do.
Talk about it before you need to do it.
Right.
So that you're prepared.
Yep. And we have clients that have loaned and borrowed from others within the family. And sometimes it's just a direct loan. Sometimes there's no interest. And sometimes it's a partial buy. Like, I'll buy half of that house that you want to buy in a way to move wealth from one generation to the next. And then there's talks to be had with other professionals like tax preparers and attorneys when some of these major things come up. So don't just take my word for it, but talk about and meet with other professionals that have the current legal and tax implications on their mind.
And, it's great that you as a financial planner talk about these things and are able to help people through the conversation and the process, because it's not an easy process, especially when you throw the fact in that it's a loved one, assuming that it's a family member that you actually like and would like to continue to like.
That's right. Money issues, are difficult enough between spouses, let alone children or cousins or beyond that. we consider ourselves a disinterested party objective, and we're able to raise issues and let the clients make a more informed, better decision that works for everybody.
Very good. Well, Dan Joss, if you would be so kind as to share with us a phone number and or website so someone can get in touch with you and let you help them through this process, we'd love that.
Sure. They can call us at 757-903-2127 or check out our website at jossbrown.com.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Money Talks is a weekly program presented for the listener's benefit and entertainment. It is provided at no cost to the listener, and the ideas, opinions, and comments are not to be construed as legal advice, tax advice, investment advice, or other advice specific to the listener. Listeners are encouraged to seek the advice of a licensed professional or other qualified party when dealing with financial, legal, tax, medical, investment, insurance, taxidermy, plumbing, electrical, carpentry, real estate, chiropractic, veterinary, oral hygiene, hot air ballooning, etc. We have given you some food for thought. Now, call a licensed professional such as Dan Joss at 757-903-2127. Thanks for listening, and remember, failing to plan is planning to fail.